Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to be taking a look at this Tiny Epic Zombies game. It's a game that I found on Amazon.com. In fact, I'll put a link to it below. If you're interested in purchasing one yourself, be sure to go through my link. It really helps out my channel. But anyway, the Epic line of games, it seems like they've got a number of them, including, as I can see when you open up the box here, there's let's see, Epic Quest games, Epic Galaxies, Epic Heroes, Epic Defenders, Epic Defenders, The Dark Wars, just a whole line of fun looking little games. But what really caught my eye was the Epic Zombies, because I'm always on the lookout for a fun sort of horror themed game, and I think this is going to really fit the bill. And what particularly grabbed my attention was that it is a single player game. That's very important to me since I can never find anyone to play any of these games with me. But I bought this and I thought we would take a look at it together. Check out the artwork and so forth. Now, normally I like to unbox these here with you and we take a look. In fact, I tried filming this video already, and it's just, there is a lot of playing pieces here. And without knowing what everything was, it was very hard to do an unboxing video. And I went ahead and actually went further and watched a playthrough of the game online because I went ahead and read the directions. And it's a little complicated. I think after watching the playthrough, which for a single player, I watched a solo game, it took a little less than an hour, but part of that was explaining the rules and everything too. So I'm not sure how long it would take you to play a single player game, maybe 45 minutes or so. So that's a good, good investment. You're not going to get too bored. It's not going to be too easy. It was definitely not too easy in the video that I watched. In fact, he got up to the very last possible move before he actually beat the game. It was quite exciting. So I can't wait to play it myself. I haven't played it yet. Maybe I'll do another video with you where we'll do a playthrough. But I just kind of wanted to show you what it was all about today. We'll take a look at the artwork as I like to do. And let me go ahead and read you the prologue from the instruction booklet. Kind of sets the tone for the game. It says, "The zombie outbreak has swept across the country and the dead won't stay dead. Trapped in the Echo Ridge Mall, a small band of humans from all walks of life must save the world. They'll have to keep their heads cool and their guns loaded as they face a wall of undead horror. With some quick thinking and some lucky headshots, they might just fulfill their objectives and get out alive, or end up as lunch." So let's go ahead. I'm going to pull the camera in a little bit closer and we'll take a look at the components of this game. So here again we have the box cover. Once again, it is the Tiny Epic Zombies, a game of brutal survival by Scott Almes. I really love how they have incorporated that artwork on the inside of the box. I always think that's pretty fun. On the back of the box here, you just have a general layout of the game, the advisories and so forth, and it's got that advertisement for their other games on the sides. So let's take a look at the mall. These are the playing tiles that you're going to be dealing with, starting with the courtyard. Now, the courtyard has two sides. One is for competitive play. The other is for a cooperative play. Now, with a single game or a single player game, you're only going to be using mostly the cooperative board. But in the courtyard, this is pretty much your home base. This is where you're going to have your survivors hiding, and you're going to have your barricade indicator here, which I'll show you about in a second. But that's going to be, again, the center of your mall. The rest of the cards have two sides, and when you initially deal out the layout for your mall, you randomize these cards, so you never really know how your mall is going to lay out. But the room cards here include Parking Deck Z, as well as the Echo Ridge Security Office. We have Gamelin World and Rich's Galleria. One thing to notice, you'll see all of these have 3 separate rooms, because your zombies are always going to be breaking into the mall and following this defined path through the rooms, 1, 2, and 3. So as the gameplay goes on and you add more zombies, it's going to fill up the store in that particular order. Here is Amps Electronics and TE Toys. You'll notice some of these cards, like the toy store here, has a trap icon where you can trap zombies. Certain rooms will have things where you can gain ammunition, and then all of them have a noise indicator. This is the generic department store and the Finish It hardware. Kickin' It Camping, First Place Sporting Goods, Crafts and Colors, LTL Hobbies, Echo Ridge Food Court, Going Coffee, Hers Jewelers, and Hordes Collectibles. So next up, all of the players will be assigned a character. Now, there are two types of characters that you can play. You can play a human, or you can play a zombie. Now, if you're playing a solo game, you're only going to be playing with humans. However, if you're playing with multiplayers, you can have some of them be zombies and compete against each other. In a solo game, you're not really going to be using any of these zombie abilities as you would if you were playing a multiplayer game where they need to increase their strength levels. With a single player game, you're only going to have a zombie have one special ability. For instance, this one says, when a player is overrun, they must lose 1 ammunition in addition to taking 1 health point. The health points are going to be tracked on your human cards. As you can see, you have health as well as ammunition. And when you spend up your ammunition as you shoot zombies, your ammunition goes down. As you get hit by zombies, your health deteriorates by moving up. And if your health and your ammunition collide, that means you're too weak to continue, and you don't lose the game, but your character dies, and you basically start over with another character, such as the teacher. And each character also has a special ability. For instance, this one says at any time you may spend 1 ammunition to peek at any 1 face-down search card. And then it just has a reminder on your turn of what to do. You have a backpack section where you can collect other cards, and then you have your individual weapons that all of the characters have. A knife for a melee attack, or a pistol for a ranged attack. Zombie teacher. We have the mechanic, the photographer, the scientist, the greaser, the janitor, the pop star, the teenager, the fry cook, the hippie, the athlete, the doctor, and the survivalist. All of the players are going to try and complete 3 objective cards, which are also chosen randomly, such as discover a cure. Now there are 2 sides again to each of these cards, whether you're playing competitively against other players or cooperatively. Again, single players will just use the cooperative function. You might be trying to escape the mall, and as you can see, each objective is going to show you exactly what you need to do to complete the objective. And it's going to vary with every single game as the board is randomized. You might be needing to quarantine the infected, investigate the source, escort the army, call the CDC, save the stranded, assemble an arsenal, or fix the helicopter. As you search the mall, you are going to come up with search cards to help you complete your objectives. You can gain extra weapons. Now, the melee weapons are the weapons that you will use to kill zombies when you're in the same room with them, because you need to do so, up close, face to face. You might gain a golf club, and it's going to tell you here how it will affect your attack. Or you might have a barbed bat, an axe, a chainsaw, a crowbar, a machete, or you might have some additional weapons that can go for a longer range, such as the crossbow. You can use these weapons when you need to kill a zombie in another room or even a couple of rooms away, such as with the revolver, or an Uzi, an assault rifle, a shotgun, a submachine gun, and you can also find some items that are going to help you, such as a first aid kit that's going to help you with your health, a frequency item. This is going to help you in your game, such as gaining 2 ammunitions or 1 ammunition. You can see they all range. But you also might need this card to complete a certain objective, like the CDC scenario. You might have an event, such as an explosion, or you might encounter a zombie, and that's going to affect your gameplay, such as this one. You will need to place an additional zombie into the store, then discard the card. Or you might find something you can hold on in your backpack for later use, such as this hand grenade, or adrenaline to help your health, or some fireworks, or a skateboard that's going to let you use this card to go to any room. When traversing the board, you get to play with some of these fun little character icons. And along the way, you'll collect these weapons corresponding to the additional weapons we just saw on the card. And what is kind of fun is when you collect something such as this high-powered gun, a range weapon, you can just plug it into your little person alongside a melee weapon. That's going to help you defeat the zombies. And help protect the survivors. You might even be inclined to use the motorcycle or the cop car to make your way around the mall. Being careful not to get hit. These are your health indicators. Again, you're going to keep track of your health on your player card, while also watching out for your ammunition, which you'll also keep track on your player card. For your objectives, you have a number of objective indicators. So as you complete your objective, you can keep track on your card. You also have, for your courtyard, a barricade indicator. You want to keep the zombies from infiltrating your courtyard, and each time they do, they're going to break down your barrier until it hits 0 and they've infiltrated. You're also going to have a whole lot of extra playing pieces to place around the board, depending on your particular objectives. You won't be using all of these pieces, only the ones that correspond to your particular objective. You're also going to have some crate pieces to help you increase your barricade, and some traps to help you avoid some zombies. And you have your die. You're going to roll that die to indicate after you kill a zombie whether you can play again, take some health points, or have nothing happen. At the end of every turn as well, you're going to play your object card by either using it or leaving it in a room. You'll notice in the corner you have a noise indicator. When you play this card after your turn, if you happen to be in a room that has that noise indicator, you have just been found by the zombies, so additional zombies will infiltrate your room. So there we have it. That's what you get with Tiny Epic Zombies. I know I just kind of touched upon some of the game mechanics. I'll encourage you to check out some other videos if you want to actually see the game in play. But one thing that I kind of didn't go through was that you have different modes of gameplay depending on the number of players. So as I plan to play it, again, you can play solo, and the game is mechanically built so that, you know, after you take a turn, basically, if you're playing with an actual character that played a zombie that are trying to attack the humans, I think they have more autonomy, but with a single player game, it tells you exactly how you put the zombies after each round. And the zombies just keep encroaching closer and closer to your core group of survivors at the center of the mall. And if they counter the center of the mall before you can keep pushing them back enough, you lose a life or so, and you lose your survivors. It's all spelled out pretty clearly in the instruction booklets, but it's kind of complicated to explain. But anyway, you want to hold on to your survivors, you want to complete your objectives, kill off all the zombies. What could be more fun than that? Plus, anything that has rooms, kind of like my favorite board game Clue, I find it always appealing. And I really, like I said, I like the randomization. So part of it is, as you're building your mall layout, you have the random room that you pick, depending on which side it is, and then the location. It's all very random, so the game is always going to constantly be changing. And then, you randomly pick your characters and your objectives. You can play this endless number of times without it ever being the same. The only thing, and it's got like a built-in timer to it, so that there's only a certain number of rounds, because at the end of every turn you have to play a card, which I kind of indicated there's like a sound thing. So basically that's what the zombies are going to play off of. After you've played your turn, you have to see if you made any sound, and that's going to tell the game how many more zombies are going to be put on the board. And then the zombies play in they move around the board in a certain order. So you can definitely play by yourself, and things are always going to be changing. So you're not really going to be able to predict too much what the zombies are going to do, because there's still a whole lot of randomization as to whether the zombies are here or they're this number of zombies or so forth. So I'm going to have to play this a few times myself to see if I can make it through a game without having to refer back to the instruction book 100 different times. But hopefully I can make a go of it, because it does look, again, like it's a pretty fun game. So again, if you're interested in purchasing it, make sure you check out my Amazon link below. But I really highly encourage you to, because it looks like it's going to be super fun. And this artwork, I love how all the characters have that corresponding zombie. I think that's just fun. But that'll do it for today. So make sure that you stay tuned if you want to see more game reviews. So until next time, guys, take care and play to win.